Hey everyone, and welcome to my craft room, and welcome to the year 2020. I'm recording this on New Year's Day, so if you're watching this on New Year's Day, Happy New Year! A new start to a new year and a new start to a new series of online classes. So here we go. I'm just checking my iPad, make sure that the volume is okay. Okay, we don't want to listen to my voice. The volume seems fine. Okay, so if you're watching this video on YouTube, my name is Julianne Richards. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in sunny southern Tasmania. And I offer online classes every month with a different stamp set and 5 wonderful projects. If you would like to know more, I'll put the link to my blog in the comments, and you can just follow that through, or drop me an email, or subscribe to my channel and leave a comment. That would be great. So I make these little videos as tutorials, and when you enroll for the class, I give you the link to the Facebook page where you can see them. But anyway, this is card number 1, and I'll get on with the tutorial. Okay, so this is, as I say, this is card number 1, and my class for this month is Parisian Beauty, which is a new stamp set coming out in the mini catalogue for 2020. It's available from the 3rd of January through to the 31st of March. And it's absolutely glorious, and it's got some really glorious, wonderful, beautiful things that come in the bundle as well. So the card that I'm going to be doing first is uses the stamp set. There's not very much stamping in this one. It's pretty much stick and glue, but we'll get on with it anyway. So in your set, in your little card set, you should have everything you need to make this card. You've got a couple of lovely strips of champagne gold foil. You will have a little piece of the designer series paper with 3 flowers that you're going to have to fussy cut, and I haven't bothered making you watch me fussy cut because it can be excruciatingly painful to watch. So I've already fussy cut these 3 flowers from the designer series paper, but you will get a little piece of the paper that you can cut these flowers from. So that's already done. You have a little sentiment square and a die cut merci, which is French for thank you, as we probably know. You've got a die cut Eiffel Tower. Here we go, and this is in petal pink cardstock. So that's in the bundle as well, so that's really worth getting hold of. I think that can be used all year round. This beautiful delicate flourish, be very careful with that. It's probably winged its way across the miles in one piece, hopefully, so that's really delicate. Got a piece of this glorious designer series paper which comes with this, with the bundle and with the suite, and it's wonderful. It's got accents of the champagne, the gold champagne. It's got petal pink and sort of script writing on one side, and some beautiful blossoms and the pool party accents on the other side, but we're going to be using this side here. Plus you'll have a card base, which I've already cut for you and scored, and a number of the beautiful champagne rhinestones as well, which you'll need for your card. Okay, so let's get assembling. You can probably see where this one's going straight away. So anyway, first of all, we have our card base. So what you're going to do is just pop that aside for the moment and grab your piece of designer series paper, she says, changing tack, and your 2 strips of foil. So if you are an extravagant person, you could probably cut your foil so that it is bigger than your, so it's, you know, sort of a sheet, a piece of it, so it fits behind your designer series paper. But given that money doesn't grow on trees, I've cut 2 strips, and this is a good way of saving money on your consumables with crafting. You just basically, you're only going to see those little edges, so why bother hiding that beautiful, the rest of a beautiful piece of cardstock behind. So what I'm going to do to attach those to the side of our, and I'm searching desperately while I'm talking, to the side of our card, is I'm going to use double-sided tape, but you could use glue. I'm going to use double-sided tape if I can find mine. So much for getting prepared before I came on. Bear with me. Now double-sided tape is here somewhere. In fact, I know I've got 2 somewhere. Oh gosh. Ah, there it is. Slip down. There we go. So I'm going to use double-sided tape or tear and tape. So basically just pop on the very, very, very edge of one of your pieces of foil. Just pop it, the double-sided tape, as close to the edge as you possibly can, and all the way down. So you're just leaving this probably 1/2 centimetre showing off the edge, and then rip that off and get your designer series paper. And I think it might be best to look at it this side so you don't show. Just line that up and stick it down there. So I have cut your foil so it matches the length of your designer series paper perfectly, hopefully. Yes, I have. I'm sure I've double checked it. But you can trim it if they're a little bit out of kilter at the ends. So that's one side. We're going to just do the same on the other side. Forgive the noise as the garbage truck goes by. Poor guy's working on New Year's Day. Same deal. Just pop your double-sided tape on your foil. Run it down there. They're just collecting our rubbish now. I think it's recycling day as well. And we're going to do the same on the other side here. Just laying that on the edge and firming it down. There we go. So there you go. Nobody could tell that you haven't actually used two pieces of a whole piece of foil, because you've cheated and you've got it at the back there like that. So that's pretty cool. It's a good tip. Okay, so what we're going to do now is pop that onto our card base. I'm going to put it slightly off centre so it's a very thin layer. You're actually going to see, as you can see the white from the card base there. So I'm going to put it more to one side than the other, just so you've got a thinner border there and a thicker border there. And now I'm going to use glue, although I've stuck a little bit with the double-sided tape. I'm just going to use a bit of multi-purpose glue. Just in there. And as I say, slightly to one side, so you've got a thin border on one side and a slightly larger one on the other. Just firm that down. It's not going anywhere in a hurry. And line it up top and bottom. Again, it should be cut perfectly, but if you just give it a little bit of a trim, if I'm slightly off, I shouldn't be. I've been doing it for a while. Okay, so there we have the starts of our card, and I've got glue on the fingers. Okay, so let's do. Okay, so what we're going to do next is start layering up some of these beautiful decorations. Now these are really fine. You can see that they're so fine. So don't overdo the glue if you can help yourself. Who am I to talk of glue everywhere? Anyway, so just dots of glue will get you where you need to be. It doesn't need to be hugely gummy. So first of all, I might put the Eiffel Tower down, and again, as I say, I might move that out of the way. Just dots of glue where there's a fair bit of cardstock, where there's enough, cardstock for it to actually stick. Just a dot here and there. There we go. And we'll pop that straight onto our card. I'm going to again put that slightly off one side, so more onto the right hand side than the other side. Now that sort of disappears quite, well, I think, nicely into the background there, so it's just a hint of Eiffel Tower. I suppose if you were making this card again, you could probably use the same gold foil to make your Eiffel Tower, and that would stick out like wow, give you a real wow factor there. Make sure I've put it the right way up. Yep. Okay, so then what we're going to do is get our little flourish, and this is in black, and again just touch where the largest, it's coming out quite thick, my glue, just a touch here and there. Cards don't, as much as we love them, they don't have to last forever. We're not sort of hoping that archaeologists will dig them up in decades and centuries to come. They're just to give pleasure, you know, for the moment sort of thing, and maybe be treasured for a little while, but you know, doesn't have to be Fort Knox. Here we are. So that one's on there. Might just grab a spare piece of something and give that a little bit of a firm down so it doesn't stick to me rather than that. Ooh. There we go. As she said, pretty delicate stuff. Okay, we might leave that one. So you might need to put a little bit more glue on there than I have, but you'll know your own gluing technique. Okay, so we've got our Eiffel Tower, we've got our beautiful flourish. Then what we might do is pop our merci onto our piece of cardstock, and again, just a touch of glue all the way along, and then straight onto the little piece of white cardstock. Once you've got it straight, just firm it down. And the good thing with our glue, as anyone who's used Stampin' Up! Glue before, is that you've got a little bit of time to play with it and get it straight before it actually cures. There we are. So I'm going to put that merci on some dimensionals, and you will have these in your pack as well. Find them, here we go. So I'm just going to pop a couple of dimensionals on the back of there. And pop it there, just at the bottom. So lining it up with the edge of the left-hand piece of gold and taking it across. And the good thing with the script is, making sure that's straight, you can actually line it up with the lines of the script on the designer series paper. So obviously this is turning into a thank you card, but there are other sentiments with the set that you could substitute in if you wanted to. The final part of this is your little fussy cut flowers that you will have already cut, and I'm saving you from watching me cut. And we're actually going to also put those on dimensionals and just pop them sort of around the front, and we're going to pop them, as I say, pop them up on dimensionals. But beforehand I'm going to get our little rhinestones and my tool, and I'm going to pop a rhinestone in the center of each of those just to give them a little bit of bling. And this card has definitely not got any lacking in the bling department, so just in the center there, one. And so where the sort of the little stamens originate from, just pop them in the middle. You could choose to put them elsewhere on there, of course, but that's where I like them. Here we go. And again, some dimensionals. Use little ones just for the flowers. And just on the back there, put one up here. And one here to the side. Sort of orientate your flowers so they look like they're looking up. That's the sort of way I like them. Don't know, something optimistic about flowers looking up and quite saddening about them looking down in a way. That's a bit weird. And just pop this last one just so it overlaps your sentiment a tiny bit, your sentiment block, and sort of covers over that end there of the flourish that might look a little bit untidy. And there we go. That is card number 1 of January 2020's online class. Just bring that in closer so you can see. Hopefully you like that one. It's blank on the inside, but as I say, there are sentiments in there that you could use to do the inside. I do decorate the inside of later cards, but this one I've just left inside. Life is a magnificent adventure. You are the joy of my life. I'll let you guys decide what's appropriate for you. But as I say, that's card number 1. There wasn't very much stamping involved in that one, so I'm sure there will be in later cards. As I said, if you like what you see watching on YouTube, just follow the link to my blog, which is in the comments, and it'll tell you all about this class and my previous classes, which are also available for purchase as long as the stamp sets are current. Okay, thank you very much for watching this card number 1. I'll be back shortly with the rest of the series. There's 5 cards in all, and hopefully you'll enjoy those as well.